Wassail Beautiful People. We're at the Cromlech. I've got the Merlin hood out. So, it's a beautiful place. There's a lot more people arriving, and so I apologise if there's interference. We're sitting with one of the stones. It's a very small flat one, but there's lots of really beautiful stones around. I've been really picking up very feminine female energy. I've had a lot of the sense of Queen of Pentacles frequency here. Croac energy. There's a very magical energy that's resonating here. So let's see what the stones want to say. I'm sitting in the part that's about 8,000 years old. It's the ghost dance. It's like an ancestral dance. This is the energy of ancestors being very present, ancestors working very much on a kind of a darkening energy. They're trying to hold back. There's a sense of the ancestors trying to push back trauma, and yet it's almost like they're holding it back until we turn and say, I'm ready, I'll receive this trauma and I'll move that trauma forwards. It's going to get really sunny now, see, because we're saying you just got to let the light in. So that's interesting. The split has got the council and the hummingbird. That's about heart chakra. You've got to let in something to your heart. The other thing I've been channeling since I was here is leaving something behind. You know, at the moment we're really getting this continuous message of leaving the past behind. There's another aeroplane. I didn't start the video earlier when it was completely empty because of the aeroplane, but now we're getting more and more sense of air frequency coming in to disturb the frequencies that are already here. So what do we have? Oh look, Jaguar and the Child. Jaguar and the Child. The instant thing I'm getting from Jaguar is a kind of combination of the 3 planets in retrograde, but more than anything it's awaiting the 3rd. So it's awaiting Jupiter's retrograde that's happening right now. We've got the energy of Saturn and Pluto and they're waiting. They're sitting and they're asking. You see, it's because Jupiter is Saturn's child. So again, they're trying to talk about ancestral energies. So I've got the Universal Celtic Tarot with me. Let's see what we get. This is where I've been getting a lot of fairy energy. Queen of Pentacles has come out every time I've picked up this deck, and Queen of Wands. So there's very much, I wanted to say I was getting the energy of Queen Mab, Queen of the Fairies, she of the Mabinogi, the Welsh fairy stories. Although many would dispute that's where the name comes from, but for me it's the energy link. It's the stories we tell children, and there's very much an energy of, that's what they're saying. It's what are the stories that we're going to tell as we move forwards? What are the future stories we want to give rather than the old stories? So let's see what the Universal Celtic Tarot has in store for us. I'm so excited to be in this energy because it's really old and it's got such a wonderful magical beauty, and I'm going to have a good look around. Some of the stones are carved. I've only managed to find the carvings on one at the moment, and that was the circles, and that's about completions and new beginnings. And we did have the card of Jaguar is 28, completions and new beginnings. So it's a really interesting energy. So let me just rifle again. I feel like there's an energy of, the energy's draining down at the moment. There's also a series of channels. There's a beautiful butterfly. There's a series of watery channels running down towards the bottom, because this is all on a slope for the autumn equinoxes, and we're here at the June equinox. Well, the autumn and spring equinox. And that's just interesting because in the rune studies, I talked about how they only really identified summer and winter, and yet this is thousands of years before that, and they're fixated on the importance of a day of equal night and light. The night and light. Oh, that's interesting, because I've just set you day and night. There's something in here that's got something to do with the rune that you're all working on my website. Cycles, karma. This is the world card. We're in 2021. This is card 21. And there's that sense of spirit flying in. And we have, it's very much the energy of Aries, the ram, as an Uberos snake. So that's an energy of cardinal fire. And I'm burping. There's wind, air. There's feathers cascading down. I'm also getting the energy of, I can't think what they're called, and I know what they're called. It's not the poppies. They're called grape. It will come to me. Purple flowers growing out of the ground. It's not important. It's more to do with the fact that they're trying to draw my attention to a connection between the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus, and the third eye, bordering on the crown. So what else would you like to say, please? What else would you like to add? What other messages do you have to draw forwards, please? What other messages would you like to share with everybody? So, 9 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands. Interesting, because the 9 of Pentacles is about sovereignty. It's very much about the sovereignty of our consciousness within our vessel. And there's something about the 6 of Wands that's a rite of passage. Within communities, within loved ones, within families, there's this energy of, it's an energy of victory, but it's a victory over your own sovereignty. Very much being drawn to the crystal. Oh, I know why now. Because I brought 3 crystals to leave here, but this is the one they're wanting to talk about. This tangerine quartz is about the sacral. So there's something about the sacral. I've also bought one to deal with bones. And I've bought a piece of lava stone that's very porous. So, we've also got a card that's fallen. 8 of Wands. So the 8 of Wands is about rapid movement forwards, having a journey, understanding where you're going. This has also got the runic symbols that are to do with the different seasons. There's something they're saying about autumn. We keep getting this message about autumn. There's something about Virgo. I'm just going to keep saying that every time. There's something about Virgo. It's a really important energy, Virgo season. There's fox and there's wolf. There's understanding, there's control over yourself as you move forwards. There's a cunning, being quick on your feet. There are 2 horses for freedom rushing in the background. but there's also a boar, which is like, they're saying it's very much like the energy of Ganesh. There's no freedom on this during the rite of passage, is what they're saying. So, let's see what else. I'm in a stone circle, and I love it. So 2 more cards have come forwards. Journey to the Holy Mountain. It's the journey and the Holy Mountain. Look, stop prevaricating. It's time now to move towards the thing, your spiritual dream, your pathway, the journey that you keep closing off. There's something about the heart chakra. I'm going to sing to the stones in a little bit. And maybe when I sing, I'll video it so that we can share the energy. I'm curious as to what the frequency is here. When I was at the Stonehenge, it was very much F sharp, higher heart chakra. And I'm sort of getting the sense that here it's not. I've been tuning into a lot of grasshoppers and things, and they're on the Nativo, the solar plexus. So... and it's kind of, there's so many stones here. It will be interesting to check the frequency. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I'm prevaricating when I'm supposed to be doing this reading quickly so that the computer doesn't run out. So, yeah, look, we're just getting masses of female energy. Temperance. This temperance is about fire and water, and again, huge amounts of wildflowers. Wildness is coming up a lot. That's really interesting. Okay, that stone over there is smiling at me. Why? We've got the Emperor, and that's what he's laughing about. Because I just said we're getting loads of female energy, and then the Emperor came up. So this Emperor, I need a card on him. I'm getting the sense of a festival or a rite of, not just a rite of passage, but a rite of season, like a marriage, but not a marriage in the sense that we have. A giving of yourself to the land is the energy. Oh, I can't. That stone's really, really laughing at me. It's got a big open mouth and it's got a little tongue sticking out. It's really staring at me. Right, talk to me about this Emperor. It's almost like it's like the female picks the man. There's something about this celebration that took place here that was about a man being selected by the women. It's like, oh look, it's just the fluidity of women. It's like they're showing me that it's, you know, not the 3 witches, but the notion of, I guess they're saying girl, woman, crone. The frequency, the cycle of life within the community, somehow a representative was chosen, and then it was about them selecting the man who would be not sacrifice, because there's no sense of a morbidity taking place here. But look, he's almost wearing the penannular Celtic brooch that we talked about in the Fleursa symbol. He has a deer on his head. It's like he becomes the guardian of the natural world. That's interesting. It's an honour to be selected. So for the season, I don't know whether that's just a quarter of the year, But for that season, the three female representations of different ages of woman, because they're saying there's something about the energy of this space that's to do with fertility of the land and of the womb, and the man is chosen as the guardian of space. It's not like they're using his seed or anything, but there's an energy where if you're chosen, you don't have to do the ordinary labors. You get to be the guardian of the stones. You get to meditate. You get to go on a spiritual journey. That's really interesting. I need to know more about that. Tell me more about this role. Oh, look. It's a vision quest. It's almost the reverse of... He becomes like a spiritual seeker, a spiritual seer who sits with the stones, reads the energies, walks around, works with the trees, gets connected entirely to the natural world, and then he brings his visions to the Council of Women. That's really, really interesting. That's what the council and the hummingbird were about. He has to bring the truth within his heart that nature brings. I'm really getting that sense that this is the lower heart chakra, but I can't say that that's true until I tune into the stones. But that is the sense that I'm getting. That's a really, really fabulous message. I wondered what the story would be here. This sloping down, there's something about the water channels that are naturally cut into the earth that's got that sense of flursa, like you would at the top of the hill pour water. There's a stone where you place, with dimples in, where you place other stones and it shows you through its shadows how things align. But there's something else. There's something about community that's taking shape here. There's a stone over there now that's looking at me like a very sad warrior. It's like the disappointment. It's the disappointing stone. It's the one who realised that he didn't get picked, and and that one's laughing because he gets a year off. Really, really interesting energies. Yeah, look, it's about, I know that doesn't look like that, it's the devil energy here, but there's something about this that's appeasing the energies of the world so that life has fertility. That's what they're saying. Life must have fertility. These horns behind are representing the embrace of the stones that exist within the center. The stones all have different messages. Some are carved with different images. Again, I'm getting the same runes. I'm being told that I have to go back and work on these runes, which is really interesting because there's a series of 6 or 7 of them, and they're all to do with the different stages of tree growth. Oh, and the cork trees with their distress. I also learned today about olives. How we harvest olives now is we take these kind of tractor things and they shake the buggery out of them to get the harvest, and I immediately could sense the stress of the trees. And again, olive trees are beginning to suffer. We've got to learn how to work with nature, not against it. We've got the boar, the Ganesh, the image, the energy of passing through barriers, obstacles. It's like our relationship with the natural world is a barrier that we need to get through. So one final card, it says giving 2. It's got the hummingbird and the earth keeper. This is what this emperor energy, this is what the frequency is. The females select That's what this rite of passage was. You have been selected to go off and be that energy. So the 3 phases of womanhood, girl, woman, and crone, I know it's a bit of a weird word, but it's about wisdom and power. This is the job, the duty, the energy is to be the connective energy of the earth, because they're saying to me man doesn't birth. You know, women have the magic. The man has to learn to focus the vision, to bring the energy forwards, to find a connection to the magic that's much more naturally fluid, Flursa, in the women. I'm curious now, the Emperor, is it a man who has, or is it a child, a male child? I need to understand, is it a man or is it a male child? It's when a man's in his fertile stage? Oh, look, really interesting. It's in the fertile stage, but it's wisdom. It's you can't do this. They select you on your wisdom, not your prowess, because it's about being a seeker of the esoteric. And the other cards that have come out are just saying again, it's the women that choose. And here she is, the Queen of Pentacles, and she's come out with the 8 of Swords, the goddess made of the natural world, of flowers, because that's another energy. There's a flower just here, and we have the Empress. It's triple goddess frequency, but represented through girl, woman, and then older woman. So they select the guy with the greatest wisdom or the greatest sensitivity, not the hunter prowess energy or the warrior energy. That's why the warrior's sad. It's a different frequency. We don't even understand that, because the hunting then was not about prowess, it was about feeding us. Fascinating. Anyway, that's the reading from here. And let's go and give the stones a sing, and I'll see you all again shortly. Wassail.